All right, hello everyone. It is the midnight hour, so I decided to do something a little different and make it the first Teach Me Tuesday for the night. So hopefully nobody recording while I'm recording. But anyway, I'm Rod Hill. I am your digital tech launcher. And what I do, I help entrepreneurs, coaches, and experts develop their web presence, specifically in web design, web development, social media setup, and lead generation components. So I'll give it like 10 seconds just to see if anybody's up with me. But if not, you guys will see this first thing in the morning. I got some information I think is very useful. Again, it's related to web development and building your web presence. So one of the main things that I want to talk about this morning, I should say, is about choosing a domain name. Now, obviously, this is for that stage where some of you guys are probably working on getting your business and everything online, but you haven't gone as far as getting a domain name yet. So these tips will definitely help you. So the three things I'm going to talk about is the length of the domain name, the memorability of the domain name, and then which extension to use. So again, this will be quick and to the point. So the first thing is when you consider getting your domain name, consider the length, because the length does make a difference. I usually, the sweet spot, try to get it as short as you can, but at the same time, not too long. So I usually do between the sweet spot is no more than about 20 to 22 characters, unless it's a really good domain name and you can go a little bit more than that. But I wouldn't go any higher than that, because any longer than that, it gets, it's definitely not memorable for that individual if you say it to them and they try to remember it later on. Like I said, unless it's a very good domain name, but try to stick around 20 to 22 characters. The less the better. I would stay away from like abbreviations though. You definitely want, I would use words and things of that nature. I'll get ready to go over memorability next. So again, number one is length. Number two is memorability, and what I mean by that is basically there's a couple of ways that people get domain names. And most of you guys are coaches and experts, so most of you all won't use the first one, which is keyword based. That's more along the lines for those that's trying to get ranking online and things of that nature. So most people get like a domain name based on one of their keywords that's related to the niche that they're in, and it helps with search engine ranking and getting traffic to your website a lot easier. Now, again, it takes away from the branding portion of it, but you can always do that in the background. And most people that do that get multiple domains and kind of chain them together. But that's a whole nother conversation. Most of you guys will be doing more things like using your name. And what I usually tell people to do is try to get your name, but if not, use like a name plus a modifier. So like for an example, I have a basic name, which is Rodney Hill or Rod Hill. So neither one of those domains are available. But if I put a modifier on it, like Rod Hill Online or I Am Rod Hill, which are two of the ones that I use, then something like that is still good. So most of you guys, if you got very unique names, good for you. You're more than likely, definitely, if you got a unique name and your domain name is available, go ahead and get it. Because eventually you're going to be branding yourself, and you'll want to have the domain name because it'll be very easy for people to find you that way. All right, and then the last one, the last option, so you got keyword based, and then you have your name plus a modifier if your name's not available, and then brand related. So brand related would be more along lines of something related to your niche. So if you're like a health coach, you can still kind of throw your name in there. You say Rod Health Coach or health coach experts or something of that nature. So you can use something like that to kind of, it's more like a branding type name. All right, and then the last one is deciding on which domain to get. So you got hundreds of what they call extensions. So that's your .nets and .coms and .infos and those types of things. So my expert opinion on that is always go for, if you can, the .coms and .nets. The only reason why is because, well, the main reason why is because it's the most familiar extension. So if you ever say, have a brand or something, chances are they're always going to type either .com or .net first. Now, I have seen successful brands that did .info. There's some .orgs. Most of the time when you're using .org, it's related more to like nonprofit organizations or something to that effect. Definitely don't want to do .gov, and some of the other extensions are good too. But for your main primary domain, try to stick with .com and .net. And one last tip on that is always check, like whatever name you're looking for, always check the .com and the .nets especially. So let's say, for instance, the .com is taken, but the .net is open. I probably wouldn't take it unless it's a very good name or you really, really want it. I probably wouldn't take it. The only reason why is because if they ever decide to do anything with the .com, then most people are going to type that first. And then what'll happen is when they try to look for you, they'll wind up going to that other person's website. And even if they may or may not be related to what you're doing, they can still start taking some of your traffic that way. Now, if it's in reverse, the .net is gone, but .com is available, I will go ahead and still do the .com. But other than that, I'll try to find a modifier or another way to kind of pull that same name off. All right, guys. Well, that is pretty much it. Again, I know it was late, so I wasn't expecting anybody to come on live with me. But hopefully, you guys can get some good information what I shared. And again, just to quickly recap, it was about choosing a domain name, and the main three things that I consider when getting a domain name. That's the length of the name, the memorability based on either keyword based, name plus modifier, or brand related, and then the third one is .com, .net preferably if it's available. All right, again, guys, this is Rod Hill, your digital tech launcher. Again, I help coaches, entrepreneurs, and experts develop their web presence, specifically through web development, lead generation components, and social media setup. Until then, I will see you guys on the next Teach Me Tuesday. Let's start it off right, and you guys have a great and fantastic and productive week. Take care.